All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson going into how all the sins that you Jakes have been able to enjoy now, man, and you thought that life was sweet, right? Enjoy it now, man, right? All the and also all the wickedness that all your women was able to get away with now, and you never saw a judgment happen at the end of it, right? All the adultery, all the coveting, all the bearing false witness, right? Like when we speaking coveting and adultery, right? Most people don't actually really understand how dangerous of a game that actually is to play, man. To be trying to like even doing the first starting it off of coveting, that initial lusting after another man's woman with your eyes. You women don't understand how you coveting after a man in your eyes, how that can put like your whole thing in danger, man. That can cause for your whole thing to end. You're putting your whole life at risk, and I'll get to the scripture right now. Like, people don't understand this, man. A lot of people don't understand nothing, really. A lot of people don't have no kind of deep foresight, and the believing in the scriptures is the ultimate foresight. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 24, keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither neither let her take thee with her eyelids, and like a little lustful look of a woman and all that in a public place, and you now think, oh, I'm the man. I'm the man. Like the girl them are on me. Like even though she's with her man and she's still clocking me. Like all these other geese, like there's all the different ways that you can get gassed up. But now that man, or like Yahweh can ultimately, it's gonna come through Yahweh. Now you're at risk of being unalive, man. Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? When you're doing things like that, in fact, verse 26, for by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Because there's a thing in this world called hypergamy, right? Where a woman perceives in her mind, it doesn't even have to be true. She perceives in her mind that one man is better than another, right? And if the so-called man that's better now agrees to the adultery of the first woman, she successfully destroyed his life that she believes is precious. Oh, his life's more precious than the other man's life. But now your life's going to be ruined, man. You've literally connected a spiritual judgment onto yourself, man. And it doesn't have to happen the first day. The judgment can come through your children, man. The judgment can come through all different manner of means. And you didn't connect the dots and think, you know what? I don't care how good a so-called woman looks to me. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that initial coveting. A lot of you women don't think about that neither, man. You're wicked. A lot of you are wicked, man. And like women, we're going back to this video that's been going around that one brother made, that a psychiatrist was talking about. Like women have literally ruined society, man. You've ruined the world. Going back to Eve, women have ruined the world, man. They've ruined it. Like they're so dumb with how they do things. Like they don't think, man. And then you Jakes and all you wicked ass men that are accepting of this, you've ruined the world too, man. No, most of you men out there don't want the law of adultery to be actual active judgment in this world, man, because then you would be judged. You ain't thinking, yeah, I do want that law to be active because then no man's gonna try and take my woman, and then I ain't gonna have to worry about that. No, you're thinking, I don't want it to be active because then I can't take other men's women because then I'm gonna get stoned. That's how big of a demon some of you Jakes are, man. You're wicked as hell, man. Jeremiah, I believe it's Jeremiah, man. He went into how each man neighs after his neighbor's wife, man. Bree, like just all on it, man. Can't get enough, mate. Like a dog in heat. You literally see a man with his woman, and that's your target. You're a demon. And these women in this world, they don't. ain't got no integrity or no, like people talk about defending their honor. They ain't got no honor to defend. Like when you really think about it, like as a thing of marriage and that, ancient or current marriage standard is not a thing that none of these women deserve. They don't deserve it. They don't. They deserve. If you know all this walking down the aisle, a lot of them deserve to be walked down the aisle and then told about themselves, man. Like Cersei from Game of Thrones, who would just walk down through the whole town and told about herself. That people told her what she was, man. Incestuous whore, spat in her face and all that. Like some of you need to be told that about yourself, man. Don't need to be told, oh, look how beautiful you are. Oh, you gassed up of yourself, man. Some of you men need to be shown who you are too, man. You had this guy Larry Wheels, that's a bodybuilder, and he really believed that him being like 6'4", 260 pounds, that no man, he said no man, he said zero, no man that weighs 135 pounds could take me down to the ground. Not that they could beat him up. He thought that was even way less impossible. No man that's 135 pounds could take me down onto the floor, could put me on my bum. No man that's 135 pounds. He actually arrogantly believed that. Like he actually really in his mind believed that's the case, man. The arrogant levels. The arrogance levels, man. He never believed that. But then a guy that he was hanging around with, that's a UFC cut, man. He's got access to the men that would be exactly that kind of weight, that could put him on the ground, took him there. The man never just put him on the ground. He put him in a guillotine and choked him out to the point where he had to tap. But he never believed that could happen. And a lot of guys that, like even a lot of these so-called roadmen, man, they don't, but like they've never been knocked out with they've never felt a liver shot. A lot of them have never felt a punch from a guy that's trained to punch, man. Because they're just quick to go into their bag and pull something hefty out, you know what I mean, or pull something sharp out, man. They ain't playing around with none of that. But it's easy. This is the thing. It's easy to be like that when you're the only one that's prepared to take it that far. But when all hell breaks loose, how is going to open it up to where everyone that's not a believer in him is going to be on the same thing. They're all going to be prepared to take it that far. They're all going to be prepared to take it there. And when it comes to a lot of these roadmen, it's untrained aggression. They're hyper aggressive, but it's untrained. It's not like they are super skilled with weaponry. It's not like they're super organized in how, like, they're not going to pull a phalanx out, are they? They're not going to do a phalanx. They're not going to pull out shield and draw a phalanx, you know, and be moving like the 300. They're not going to be like Achilles. It's going to be some, yo, Ucio, yo, get my man, grab my man. Or uncle, drive, drive. It's not going to be no smooth movements. Okay, balance your footwork, pivot off. It's not going to be none of that. And as far as it comes to these women, the women don't even know anything about that kind of stuff, man. And I've said this in videos several times, man. Everyone on this earth is going to get their chance. There's several people in this world arrogant about certain things that they perceive about themselves that's beautiful, that they perceive about themselves is so great, right? Well, okay, you're going to get your chance, man. Or you're a Jake that you think being a pretty boy, a so-called pretty boy, you got a ponytail, right? The way my ponytail flaps in the wind. All right, how far is your ponytail going to get you in all hell breaks loose? You might roll up and think you're on some ponytail thing, and a man just grabs you by your hair and spins you around, man. Dash you all over the place, bro. Like what's his name? Absalom. Absalom was a pretty boy. Absalom was the prettiest. You know what I mean? The pretty boy of pretty boys, man. He would have put all this Chris Brown and all that to shame. He would have put all this tall geezer that just stands on the side and passes his phone out. He would have put all of them, man, to shame. He would have been taller than them, man. He would have been the guy, man. Physically, he would have been the guy. But his hair was his downfall, man, along with his pride and his arrogance and his desire to be above his own father in the rankings. He was a demon. But the thing is, him being a demon, women would have loved him. He would have been like a ghost from Power, the corporate Tupac, and all that these women be loving, man. He was a grimy niller. You know what I mean? But women wouldn't have cared about that. They would have not seen through that. They would have been ignored all that to be all up in his face. And the things that Demon P Diddy was able to get women to do, a grimy ninja like Absalom would have been able to get him to do way worse than that. Didn't Absalom make one of his father's concubines? He just dealt with her on the top of the rooftop in front of people. He didn't even do it behind us. He did it in front of people, man. He was a demon. And you know that the concubine would have been beautiful because King David wouldn't have been dealing with no scrubs, would he? Like, you people don't understand, like, the judgments you're getting away with things now and all that, and like, nothing's happening to you, right? But Yahweh is watching you people, man. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 16. These 6 things does Yahweh hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. And that one of the things that sows discord among brethren is you adulterous women, man. If a man perceives that a man's gonna commit adultery with his wife, yeah, he is gonna hate that man in his heart, and he's never gonna be accepting of that man, and he's gonna want that man to be destroyed in some way. And a lot of you women can't contain yourselves in this world. Like, you do things like you put. Like, I was watching the Rasta video, man, the famous Rasta skank video, and I was watching it yesterday, and the way that woman came in, judgment, as they have judgment, the way how she came through, and she was with her daughters, right, and then I found out when I was listening to something again the other day that apparently, according to how the story goes, that same woman came back next week smiling after they bun her out. But the apostles and the great elders and all that was getting all kind of hell said about them because of that video. But that woman herself came back the next week with a big smile on her face, because really she was all grieved about how they was bunning her out and sticking around when they're calling her a slut, because she liked someone up in there, or a few of them. She really liked a few or some of them, and that's one of the things with Eve. Eve doesn't even know how to really show a man that she's attracted to her without, like, she'll call her Jake a nigger to show her attraction, man. She'll insult the geezer, like Eve insults you to try and flirt with you. But then it's not just about Eve when it comes to talking about women, because the so-called white woman's a demon, the Asian woman's a demon, the Indian women are demons, these Elam and all that, these Elam white women and these Ishmaelite women, they'll deal with Jake, right? They'll deal with Jake on a slighting and that, and like have to be hiding it from their family, right? But if their family was to find out, they'd hunt Jake down. So when they deal with Jake and that, and like they're going like they're doing him a favor, really they should have just humbled down their ovaries and left Jake alone, because if their family finds out, they're putting Jake at risk. But they still can't contain themselves, man. They're like, nah, I still have to deal with this Jake. I have to. Like, people always try and go on like men are overly lustful. No, you women are overly lustful too, man. And the lust that you do is the cause of like a whole hell of a lot more of wickedness than what the lust that men do, even, I would say. Because Eve caused this whole thing, man. Her lust made her trick Adam, made her bring Adam down. Oh, this is a good way to live, Adam. This is all right, yeah. She couldn't just do it herself. You know, she had to bring Adam down, man. Like, these women bring people down. Like, these women in this world, really, how much work have they did to build up this ministry? Zero, really, man. How much work have they did to help this ministry raise up? How much work have they did to try and raise up the so-called even black community? Never mind the Hebrew Israelite one. How much work have they did to try and bring up the so-called black community? They helped ruin it and destroy it, man. They've been one of the main weapons against it. And then you have women trying to come with some Shalom Israel, or you have some women trying to talk about, see, that's the problem with the black community. The fathers are not around. The man they mate, yeah, okay. And you're going to ignore all the things that you did to make it like that. You're going to ignore all the sinning that you did to make that happen. The men don't want to respect us no more. They just only want to, they only want to smash. Okay, you want to speak up, you want to speak about that? I don't think you're ready to speak about that though. Why the men only want to smash, right? Because there'll be men in this world that men have seen put effort and time into a woman, right? And then he might show up. And then now that woman's prepared to throw all that on under the bus because she likes what you look like. She might like you, the size of your arms. She might like your beard. She might like your hair. She might like you don't have hair. She might like your trainers. She might like your jeans. She might like the way you look in a certain color t-shirt. She might be like, oh, we're matching. We're wearing the same color. It will be something dumb because women are stupid, right? They don't think straight. They don't, And Jake, when he's being lustful, he don't think straight neither. But you women have you women have are disrespectful, man, and you show men that treating you good actually gets you treated worse. Every single man pretty much know, like the whole saying, nice guys finish last. That's the saying. It's not nice guys always win. It's not good men, or it's not even good men always win. It's nice guys finish last. Women will openly say, who do you want? The nice guy or the bad one? But doesn't the scripture say, warn to them that call evil good and good evil? Isn't even men calling us Jakes that we might say, oh, a woman's bad, to say that she's good? That's even wicked, really, man. Oh, she's bad. Or she's a baddie. Warn to them that call evil good and good evil. How often do Jake say that that woman's a good woman? To show like, man, that's a good woman over there, To show like, and that means that you're talking about how attractive she is. No, that ain't even said amongst Jake. They say, oh, she's bad. She's bad. She's fine as air. She's fine as fur. She's fine as fur. Ooh. Like, it's all dumb now. But all of this wickedness and all of this adultery that Jake's been able to get away with, man. You thought Yahweh was accepting of it, man. You thought, yo, it's a minor, like that. Yeah, it happened, and like that's just the way how it is. I don't know him from nowhere. I don't owe him nothing. That's how you Jakes think. Yeah, I stole from that store. So what? They didn't catch me, so minor. Yeah, I disrespected that guy that I don't know. Yeah, I disrespected him, a fellow Israelite. So what? You don't think, man, you disrespect, okay, he might pray to Yahweh against you. You disrespected him thinking that he's just some anyways, man. But he prayed to Yahweh against you. Doesn't it say in the scriptures, if you mock a poor man, right? Don't mock the poor, because if he prays against Yahweh to you in his heart, against Yahweh in his heart, right? Yahweh might hear the prayer, man. 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 8. In fact, 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. And everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways. All the people like that, Bono, that if a woman's on me, I'm going for it. With all the women, I'm not gonna be rude to men, because it's gonna put me at danger. Like, I'm not gonna be, if a man, you know what I mean, trying to gaslight the scene, man. You women and Esau are them ultimate gaslighters, man. The way our Esau talks, that Tony Parliament way, man. Well. You ask him a yes or no question. Well. It's not as simple as a yes or no question. You have to really look at it from a speculative view. Like, we have to be a bit retrospect before we dive in. It's not just as simple as yes or no. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Do you believe that we're the Israelites? Do you believe that they're the Israelites? Okay. Have you asked them these same questions that you ask us? And if not, why? Oh, you're trying to, like, they'll always have some twisted Satan double tongue way of trying to escape talking about things, man. The amount of time when you watch, I watch some of these body cam videos and some of these videos and you see the woman, like, she might have got caught committing adultery, and it's never her fault, you know. When you watch these videos, she'll blame the husband, or you was working too much, you weren't working enough, or you always had the house too cold, you had the house too hot, you never liked my cooking, you always liked my cooking too much. We always used to go out, we never used to go out, or you always used to go out, but you always pick the places. Oh, you never used to take me anywhere nice, or you used to only take me to the same nice places and it became boring. They always got something to say. Esau, oh, we're so-called white people, we're the biggest victims of racism now. But then they've got all these racist things to say about Jake. After the same time they say this, they've got all these racist things to say about Jake, and they've got all this history. They're trying to say that so-called black people are the most racist and violent people in the world, you know. How many ICBMs do we own? An ICBM is a sign of your violence. Because you've made something and multiplied it by bulk creation that can destroy the whole earth. You're violent more than anyone else. You can't say nothing to no one. You're the most violent, and you're the only race that's ever used them. So I don't know where you get off trying to talk and say anything about us. But that's that demonic Satan serpent way that they are, man. But let's stick on the nation of Israel and the things that they do. All the nation of Israel, those that will be Israelite foreigners that look like different nations. Because one of the things that I ain't even gonna say that this is like said, but when someone could be a Jake and they might look like a heathen, yeah, that don't mean that they're righteous. Them Jakes are just used for an example to, like, okay, there's gonna be Israelites that look like other people, but being an Israelite that might look like a so-called white person, might look like an Elamite, might look Chinese, that don't mean that you're automatically of the elect and allowed to be around and be shown now out. Because, like, look, see, it's not just about color. No, if you're a demon, you can get the hell away from it as well. Yahweh's gonna remove you away from it too, and you're gonna be in the kingdom later, the same way as any other Israelite. You ain't special because your appearance looks like a heathen, but you believe the doctrine, or you're claiming to believe it, or because you can dance a bit, you can dance like Jake because you're a Jake, but you look like a heathen. That don't make you special. Because in the past in the world, no one would have cared about that. It's only now in this last, like, 200-300 years, maybe 300-400 years, that people even speak about the color thing of people. In the past, when Jakes would have still looked like the heathen, no one would have cared that you look like a heathen, but you're a Jake. They would have been watching you for what you do. It would have been known that, yeah, we know his lineage. Yeah, we know his lineage. His mom's a heathen, but his dad's an Israelite. They wouldn't have cared about none of that. Oh, that guy looks like an Israelite, but he's really a tear. He really a Mamza. He ain't one of us. His dad's an Ishmaelite, but his mum was an Israelite. But he ain't one of us. He ain't allowed the blessings. He ain't allowed round our thing and temple and all that. Verse 9, then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Like, and I'm again gonna go to the adultery thing, man. These Jakes that love to be adulterers, right? They love to try and play that little, like that invisible battle, man, where, like, you're out in public and now a guy's trying to test himself against another guy to see who's the manliest. Oh, let's see who's the manliest. Or if he gets in my way, I'm not moving. No, I'm not moving. They might try to jump the queue in front of them. They might posture. They might try and copy. If they hear that, if it's a restaurant or something like that, they might copy and request the same exact thing that another guy asked. to try and see if they give it to him as well. They might try and see who gets the bill first. It's going to be some dumb thing, and it's always mostly because of some woman, or the woman ends up becoming part of that thing. But what women don't understand is that sometimes when these things take place, it's not about the woman herself, right? Just like how sometimes when women are giving attention to men, it's not about you. It's about the women trying to compete with other women. It's not about you, genuinely about you. Some of the time, man. A lot of time women be trying to just use men as for an ego boost for themselves to try and make their man jealous and all different kind of things, dumb things like that, right? But now the Jakes that play into that game, okay, now you're worthy of some judgment, man. You've sinned against Yahweh. You've allowed some foolish woman to try and bait you into her stupid games that she's got going on against her man, to drag you down, man. And these women love doing stuff like that, man, because they ain't got no power really in the world. So any stupid way that they can try and show whatever little power they think they got, even if it's wicked, which most of the time it is, they're prepared to play into that, man. Like these scriptures that like really make you look and analyze people in general. Like, man, these people are demons, man. And it's not like we're super righteous, but we just look at these people and be like, man, you will look at people and be like, man, that nigga proud, man. We look at a woman and be like, man, that woman's a hoe. I can tell she's a hoe. Or she's a proud demon. That person's arrogant. That person thinks they're the shit because they got money. That person's grimy, and I can tell that person's violent. Stay the hell away from that person. That person's suspicious looking as all hell. It makes you like be hyper alert to how wicked this world is, man. Because Yahweh does not want us to be comfortable down here. He does not want us to have comfort down here to where we actually like being in this place, man. He doesn't want us to like being here. He wants us to hate this place, man. And that objective is being accomplished, man. He wants us to despise this place, right? Be vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. You got Jake's all talking about, I'm gonna take me through there, take me through there. I know this bullshit. Take me through there. Doing that hands together, and then they like open up the hands like to symbolize that they're eating booty hole, man. It's disgusting. Oh, take me through there. What are you doing? Take you through where, man? What you know about take you through what, bruv? Take what through where, bruv? And that's the beginning of going down the Peggy Mitchell route, really. Mans that do that. Talking about she a eater. Eating what, bruh? You on about? Eating what? You eat food and that's it, mate? That's the only thing you're eating around here. But Jake's have become lost. Like Diddy's the face of all the madness, but mate, Jake's son are just that ain't even nowhere near being millionaires and all that. I mean, worth what these like they'll do the same stuff. Most of the people that he was able to get to do some of the fortunes, they weren't on no millionaire status like him. And he was always able to find an adulterous Jake, wasn't he? Wasn't he always able to find a wicked Jake to partake in his evil fantasies? I want you to sleep with this woman I'm dealing with. Huh? How about, nah, I don't do adultery. But they're thinking, man, I must really be the man because not only is this guy letting me deal with his wife, he's paying me to do it. He's paying me. So you know I'm the man. But you're also worthy of judgment now. You stupid idiot. And when it comes time for you to dwell in torments, you're going to deserve them, you know. When you find yourself out in this world when it's became extremely cold, some of you people are going to get the shock of a lifetime. There might just be a guy that's a postman. He was a postman before that all hell broke loose. And now he's turned into Negan from The Walking Dead, man. Now he's turned into the governor. Now he's Rick Grimes. Now he's Rick Grimes, the guy that was Rick Grimes' police partner, man. He was probably more brutal than most of them. He's probably the most brutal one, man. He would have probably been able to beat Negan in a one-on-one fight, potentially, man. He was grimy. Was dealing with Rick Grimes' wife before they even ended up in all the hell breaks loose, man. Grimy as hell. His name was Rick Grimes, but the other geezer was grimier than him. And Jake's became grimy in this world, man. And that's why there's not no real, like, people always talk about the black community and all that, mate. Jake are too adulterous for there to be any black community. Even when certain things came out about Hebrew Israelites, man, and you had a scandal in the IUIC, a Jake's coming up to another Jake, she's talking about some shallow arm. But then when he goes to the bathroom, he's sending pics of his private parts to man's wife. And then she's receiving a message, probably opening it up inside of the building and all that. Looking at it and that, man. Moisture levels increasing and all that. While she's next to her husband or wherever she is. Like, women are demons, and Jake are demons too. It's not even just about bunning out Eve all the time, man. Jake wicked as hell too. Because every single time an adulterer wants to commit adultery, he needs an adulteress, right? But every time an adulteress wants to commit adultery, guess what? She needs an adulterer. And you can't completely commit adultery if you don't have the other one. You can't have one without the other. You can't have an adulterer without an adulteress. And you can't have an adulteress without an adulterer. So there's the balance, man. And that's why both are supposed to depart from the earth. That's why both are supposed to be out of here, man. But in this world, right, in this world, the women escape. And the men escape even as well. So then it becomes a thing that's, even though it's a sin, it becomes a thing that's considered cool. And it's become like a center point of rap. I take your snitch, I take your witch, nigga, I take your Mitch, nigga, I take your pitch, nigga. That's all it's about. Your woman clocking me, your woman clocking me, like all that bullshit, man. He mad because I effed his B. And then the women have started making lyrics like that. Show me how you take her baby dad. Show me how you take her baby daddy. What you on about? Make these hoe man. Like you take her baby dad. Whack as hell lyrics, man. Dead voice, man. Literally rap like how they talk. Hey, hey, hey. I don't want your baby. I don't want your baby. Just whack as hell. All them hoes that rap like that, they sound like Lil Boosie, bruh. And he's a demon as well. You know he's got a judgment pending, man. But here's the thing, we ain't more super righteous than them. We just desire righteousness. And we're trying to not be like them, man. They're almost like a mirror of what we could have been had Yahweh have not gave us faith in him, man. Some of these Jakes in the world are exactly the kind of person that we would have been if Yahweh would have allowed us to get all the desires that we want in this world, man. Or you wanted to be a boxer, or you wanted to be a singer, you wanted to be a drummer, you wanted to be a musician, you wanted to be a comedian, you wanted to be an entrepreneur, a business tycoon. Okay, there's a Jake out there in the world that pretty much looks similar to you, right? And he got access to all them things that you never got access to because Yahweh sifted them out of your life, right? But then you might see that Jake and be like, man, I'm glad I didn't do that. Like Adrian, like a lot of brothers in the truth, I reckon probably wanted to be boxers, you know. Well, Adrian Broner was supposed to be the next Floyd, right? And he still can do the boxing thing, man. He's still got the moves and all that, right? But the guy's through. Boxing destroyed that geezer, man. He got all that money, but then he lost it all, and then now he's trying to get it back through streaming, but it's not the same money. It ain't exactly the same because no one is taking him on as a sponsor, that's trying to sponsor this geezer yet and all that. Like of any kind of high level. You know what I mean? He keeps playing with the idea of coming back and having a boxing match, and we're talking about winning the world title. I doubt it personally. I doubt it would be impressive if he did it, but I don't see it, man. I personally don't see it happening. I just think he's playing with the idea because it's like a streaming thing and all that, and he wants to he might come back and have a boxing match, but like I'd struggle to believe that he's even going to be against a fellow pro boxer, man. Like anyone of any notoriety, like anyone that's really known out there, because he lost his last fight to Blair Cobbs, and he ain't really known for being a high level fighter, is he? He ain't really known for that. So he might come back and have a boxing match, but like being a world champion again, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe that. He might desire it in his heart, but I don't believe that it's going to happen. But anyway, verse 10, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. A lot of you Jakes have not known Yahweh. You've not had to care about anything about it. Like an Anton Daniels guy is the perfect example, man. This guy's talking about, I'm a Christian first, and tries to talk about marriage and having a woman the same way our Christianity talks about it. But then I seen a video that our elder was doing, and he said something along the lines of like, oh, when I was poor, I used to have problems with the hoes. This is exactly pretty much the way he was saying it. Yeah, when I was poor, I used to have problems with the hoes. And now that I'm rich, I have the same problems with the hoes as I had when I was broke. So don't take me back to the 90s. I want to be in a 90s mentality with my 2026 money. Because that guy's proud. All he cares about is if he's rich and if women still lust after money so that he can get access to women through how much money he's got. That's all a guy like that cares about. You won't never hear that guy talking about how strong he thinks he is, man. You won't ever hear him talking about how handsome he thinks he is, because he knows he don't match that standard. So he'll talk about money and that's it. Because the way how he sees it is he don't care if women sincerely like him, they like my money. Okay, I'm gonna be able to get out of them what I want to get out of them anyway. But then really, to try and give him a bit of a leeway, most women don't genuinely like men anyway. And that's why they're so disrespectful and so openly bold to say all the things that they say about men. That's why they're so openly bold to be highly disrespectful towards men, man. They're evil, bro. They're evil, man. They ain't got no kind of foresight. But when all hell breaks loose, these women are gonna, like, when it says that, oh man, I think about this a lot, man. Because it's gonna be like just like how the MOTB is a sign that, okay, soon, we're about to see how a shy soon. Women sitting upon the ground desolate, women starting to humble themselves in front of men, saying basically, I'll pay my own way, right? So when it says in the scriptures, I'll eat my own bread, I'll wear my own apparel, only it's be called by thy name. They're saying I'll pay my own way. That's what they're basically going to be saying at that time. I'll pay my own way. I'll carry my own. I ain't going to be a burden. I'll pay my own way. I just want to go wherever you're going right now and be on the path that you're on. I'll pay my own way. Don't worry about having to overly protect me. I'll pay my own way. Don't even worry about having to defend me physically. I'll pay my own way. I just want to be connected to whatever you're connected to right now. Whatever's guiding you and allowing you to escape out of all of this. I want to be a part of whatever's going on with that. That's what these women are going to be basically saying in that time, man. I'll pay my own way. Right? That's what they're going to be on. That's going to be their mindset that these women are going to be on in that time. And I've did a few videos in regards to this because, like, there's not too many more things really that we're waiting to see. The MOTB be made mandatory, right? Whatever false flag is going to go off, or whatever, like, false thing, or whatever real thing's going to happen, that's going to cause for, like, the society to start crumbling down and cast down, and cause for people to not be able to, people to not be able to gallivant through the cities and towns, right? Whatever is going to take place for that to occur, whatever it is that's going to take place for that to happen, that's what we're waiting for. The women being humbled, the global collapse, like the chaos and the riots of the people, World War III in its fullness, where ICBMs are shut off, and then the return of Yahweh Shai, and all the other prophecies are like pretty much things that's going to happen within the kingdom, right? Us getting changed. Once we're changed as Israelites, I'd say that we're in the kingdom once we've been changed. I'd say that that's the beginning of the kingdom. Once we literally are changed and we're now under the new covenant and we can't sin anymore, I would say that that's the very first seconds of the kingdom. That is the point where we're in the kingdom now. We're now the top nation of the earth, right? We've been set on high above all nations of the face of the earth. I would say that as soon as we are changed, that's me personally, as soon as we are changed as Israelite men, even though we're not literally going to be sitting on thrones at that exact moment, even though the physical kingdom is not going to even be built with one stone yet. I would say that at that point right there, right, we are now in the kingdom. That's what I would say. Verse 11, and they that have loathed my law while they yet had liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, all you adulterous jakes, all you wicked ass women, all you unaliver jakes, all you roadmans, right? Or you why for that, 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 all you them ones, a lie though, a lie though. All you Birmingham, I don't even know how y'all talk no more. All of you. All of you, what's up, ma? All of you, what set you claim, cur? All you cur, and all that, all them jakes and all that, in America and all that. All of you. There's place of repentance open unto you right now. But y'all are too busy talking about take me through there, take me through there. All you women, there's place of repentance for you open for you right now. But y'all are too worried about where you will or won't be taken out on a date. You're too worried about trying to manipulate men and call them broke because he doesn't want to pay for your whole life. But that does not make him broke. Him not wanting to pay for your life when he's just met you or at all doesn't make him broke. That don't make him broke. Not even close. But you women are too busy on trying to manipulate men to pay for all the dumb things that you wanna have in life because you want to try and compete with some other woman. All this dumb eyebrows and stupid eyelashes thing that some of you women do. Some of you women have been deceived into doing that because the other woman really thinks you look stupid, but she wants to try and be higher ranked in attractiveness than you, so she makes you do something stupid. She might tell you cut your hair when your hair looks better long. She might tell you grow your hair or put your hair in a certain hairstyle when she knows it looks worse than another way. They ain't really respecting you. But you women are too dumb. Like, it sounds horrible, but it's true. You men are too slow to understand things, man. You've always got your guard up against men. Or when it's a man that's handsome to you, you don't have your guard up, right? But then when it comes to women, you don't have your guard down whether the woman's pretty or not. You just have your guard down with her. She can just come up to you. The ways that women can make friends in this world is, oh, you're so pretty. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we should go out sometime. They're friends. Dumb. Don't know nothing about the woman. Men can't come up to the next man and say, oh, you look strong, what do you bench? Or we should train sometime and be friends like that. The man's gonna be like, is this geezer, you know what I mean? Is this geezer think he's trying to date me or something? Like, I don't trust this geezer. Men are more circumspect than women. Verse 11 again, and they that have loathed my law. A lot of people hate Yahweh's laws. What do you mean? What do you mean? It says I can't commit adultery. What do you mean? But she was feeling me though. Oh, you're just hating because no women like you. But she was but she was peng things. But she was peng, fam. Oh yeah? Was she now? She was peng, was she, yeah? Like, here some of you people are gonna get, what you people are gonna get, man, when all hell breaks loose. And the thing is, some of the people that are all these people that are gonna get judgment, some of them have physically seen the Hebrew Israelites face to face and scoffed, or they've seen the videos. They've seen the videos, man, and they scoffed, man. Oh, fuck all that Bible thing and all that. They've said something hateful and wicked in their heart, man. They ain't believed it. They've loathed it, right? And they that have loathed my law while they yet had liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. They despised it, man. They hated it. I forget all that reincarnation talk, man. Forget, who cares if we're Israelites? How's being Israelites gonna help me get to the bag? Ever since I've been talking this Israelite thing, I've been catching more hell. So all that Israelite thing, I ain't on none of that. That ain't gonna pattern me up. That ain't gonna let me to the bag. But how's me being an Israelite, yeah, gonna help me get a job? That's what I want to know. How's me being an Israelite, yeah, gonna help me get a Lamborghini? Because I'm trying to get a Lamborghini when I'm trying to push the whoosh, 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 no keys to start. So How's that gonna get me that? I'm trying to get a G-Wagon. I'm trying to hop out of something crazy. How's the Israelite thing gonna help me get that? Or they're hating on me because I'm riding in a Benz. The Israelite, like, how, if the Israelite thing can't help me get the no keys to start, then I don't really business about none of that. That's how some of you Jakes support, man. Saying that when I look at the Israelites, I don't see, it's like you man, none of you man have jobs. How do you know? Amongst the Israelite thing, it's not going to be no different, the amount of employment or unemployment, really, than it is anywhere else in the world, man. Or among anything else. Just like the same way how people in the world would sometimes have a job and sometimes not have a job. That's no different than how it would be for an Israelite. Because when you people are worshipping these rappers, right? These rappers never had no job some of the time. And you was loving them off. A lot of these rappers have never did a hard day's work in their life. But you love them off though, listen to all their message. What was that rapper King Von's job? What job did he ever do? But everyone was loving this geezer off, even though he would have the same things he did in them lyrics to everyone else, all them lyrics, them hateful lyrics that he would spew out, them same things he would have did to you if you offended him. The same way how he's unaliving Jakes in his neighborhood because he's got a grievance with him, a little small grievance that could be easily overcome, and he wants to unalive someone. The same way how he did that, right? To them, he would do the same thing to you that like his lyrics if you offended him. But you people are loving this geezer off on that, thinking that he's something to be adored and something to be idolized. No, he wasn't. And that's why he ended up meeting the end that he met, man. But he's not, him meeting that end doesn't mean that, like, other people ain't going to meet that same end as well. That might have considered in their mind that they're not as bad as him. Some of the people that consider that in their mind that they're not as bad as him are going to be burning in the lake of fire in Chicago. So was they better than him? Were they more righteous, really? Verse 11, and they that have loathed my law while they yet had liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. So all they're doing is taking a scenic route. All they're doing is taking a scenic route to end up getting it anyway. So they may as well have just got it now. Verse 13, and therefore be not curious how the ungodly shall be punished. And when? Because ultimately they're all going to be. Oh, some wicked demon offended you in this world. Guess what? They're going to be offended, but don't even worry about when. I mean, they're going to be judged, excuse me, they're going to be judged. Don't even worry about when. Just know that they're going to be. Okay, you want it to happen now. You want to literally be able to say, Yahweh Bar Shem Yahweh Shai Shalak Rayam on that Jake, and you just see the judgment appear right then and there. Right? That's not how it works though. Because that person might still have to do a lot more offenses with their proud and arrogant character. They might still have a lot more other things that it's necessary for them to do to be worthy of the judgment that Yahweh's got waiting for them. Definitely when it comes to these women that are a grievance, there's a hell of a lot of stuff that we still want to see happen, man, before they really get their all the way end judgment. We're still waiting for a lot more to happen to them. There's still a lot more things that they have to do before they end up in the situation where they're going to be sitting and lying desolate on the ground and having to finally, after decades worth of just being able to go over from one man to another, they can date an athlete for a time, be a side chick. They can date a DJ. They can date you know what I mean? They can go to Dubai. They can get flown out. They can do this. They can do that. They can go here. They can go there. And they don't even have to be more than a 5 out of 10 to do some of this. They can just really be a 5 out of 10. Shit, they can be a 4 out of 10 to a certain degree. And be able to do some of these things, man. Because some men are desperate in this world. And they gas up women's heads to make them think. And here's the thing: if a man only wants to really sleep with a woman, her face can be a 2 in his mind. Her face can be a 2, but her body can be a 10, or be good enough for what he needs her for what he's trying to do with her. So he ain't gonna be like, nah, get away from me. Your face is too ugly. He'll be like, well, what I want to do with you don't really require for your face to be that beautiful anyway. Because after I'm finished, I ain't gonna tell anyone that I did nothing with you, because like I don't respect you like that. It's just I needed it around you around for now. And that's what some of you don't understand, man. Y'all gassed up, man. You don't understand how the male mind works. You haven't had a reason to care. You haven't had a reason to care and to study the male mind. And that's why most of you women can't keep no man. That's why most of you women desire these highly successful guys and all this, with all this money and all this stuff, but don't know how to get that guy. You literally all just think that all these men that are just gonna want you, and you haven't did anything to be wanted. He's just gonna need you and care and want to have you around. But what have you did? What have you did for that to be like a thing that he should actually do? What have you done? What have you done for him to be like, okay, yeah, I'll go for that? What have you done? Why should he have you around, man? What would it be worth? Wouldn't be worth nothing. The men that ain't even got it like that with the finances ain't even trying to deal with y'all, a lot of y'all now. You've just became recreational use. And it's sad, man. It's really sad how destroyed women are and how destroyed men are too. It's actually depressing, to be honest with you. That almost everyone that you see is wicked, man. Almost everyone that you see doesn't have that light in their eyes that shows that they're a believer of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They're just proud in some way, or they're wicked in some way, or they're lost. They're completely defeated. They don't have no hope in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that the world could possibly become a better place than this. They've just accepted that it's fruit. Verse 13, and therefore be not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. So it's better to think about, man, how the elect's going to receive salvation than how the wicked are going to be destroyed. And yet we're still going to think about that to a certain degree, or we're still going to talk about it and let it be known that you're going to be destroyed if you're wicked like that. And if you've loathed Yahweh's laws, you're going to be. Don't think that you've escaped, man. And that's what this video is pretty much about. All you people that was been getting away with breaking Yahweh's laws now, you didn't get away with it though. You was being preserved for this time that's coming up. We're coming up into. You was able to get the bag, get this, get that. You was able to be the man at the work party, right? You was able to be the man at work because you might train and go gym, and all the other guys that go to the gym don't train like you. So they look fat and out of shape for their age, but you look good for your age. Right? All the stuff that you women do, man. Like all you Jakes do, all you women do. Like it's really like just disgusting how this world is, man. I was listening to Pastor Tahar saying how you women are out of order, and they are out of order, man. But Jake's out of order as well. The only Jakes in this world that are somewhat in order are the brothers that are trying to believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, beginning with the apostles, elders, and the brothers of Great Millstone, and the people that are of the hopeful elect, man. They're the only people that are somewhat trying to correct themselves and not be wicked. Everybody else is just on their own, up their own batty, man. Thinking that they're this stuff. You got people that ain't rich, that will look down their nose at the Hebrew Israelites and judge them for financially. When if you was to check who's got more money in their bank account, majority of the times the Hebrew Israelite would have more money in their bank account, just because I would assume, just because they don't be all up in the world like how other people are all up in the world. So they ain't going to be taking their money out of their bank pocket to be trying to spend upon going out for no drinks in no place and all that, because they don't do stuff like that. They only do one or two things and stick themselves at home, man. Keep their ass in the house. They just stick their ass at home, man. They don't be gallivanting up the scene and all that. They go one or two few places and that, but they ain't overdoing it, trying to be all up in the mix. Trying to be all up in the mix of things, man, begging it off. They ain't begging it off like that. But a lot of these Jakes in the world, they beg it off, man. A lot of you people in the world, you beg it off, and you've got this your soul is like desperate to reach up some hierarchy of like being the man in this thing, man. And when it comes to Jake, the being the man thing is about who can have all the women, right? Who can steal other people's women. It's not even that you Jakes just want to have, like, most of these Jakes don't even want to have like virgin women. When they're picking up the next woman that they want, they want her to have experience, man. They don't want the woman to get to like have experience of only dealing with them. They think that that's weird. They think that's gross. They're like, nah, I want a woman that knows how to move when I'm with her. Why? Why wouldn't it be better for the woman to learn exactly how to please you physically? Why would you want her to use the same riding it off techniques, the same kissing technique, the same touching you up, rubbing you up behind technique that she did on everyone else? Why want her to use the same moves on you that she used on the father of her children, her ex-husband, her current husband? Because that's how these men are adulterers. The DJ that she slept with in a nightclub. You want her to use all the same techniques that she used on them, on you, yeah? And then they were like, oh man, oh gosh, mate, she used that on the last geezer. You're getting all gassed up by how she's so good at this, mate. The reason why she's so good at it is actually gross. The reason why she'd actually be so good at it is gross, man. It's just gross, bruv. Now, since I'm in this chapter, I want to go to this, man, because when this thing really goes down, some people are going to be completely oblivious to like, the trajectory of how this came to be, man. They ain't been watching. It's going to come, in fact, let me go to this. It's going to come like a thief in the night, but all you Jakes that have been getting away with things now, you ain't going to get away with it eventually. 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then some destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? Now, this is ultimately going into the elites and how they're going to say peace and safety, but there's a lot of people in their mind that they're going to think that they've found peace and safety as well, man. The MOTB is going to lead to several people believing that they've finally found peace and safety. But that's when their destruction's coming, man. That's when the catalyst of World War III is going to go up. You people don't know, and you don't believe. You don't believe that he told you people. For you people, seeing is believing. You ain't got the mind to like have a good imagination and be like, you know what? Yeah, I could see that would happen. Some of these women out there don't ever believe that women are gonna humble themselves so much that they say to men, "I'll carry my own weight. I don't want nothing. Never mind." Like, but they're gonna be like, "Bun 50-50. I'm doing 0 from your end and 100 of mine, and the only thing I'm gonna be desiring of you is to be connected to you as your woman, and all the things that comes with." Right, and I'm not expecting anything in return other than the ability to say that I'm your woman. You know how extreme that is, considering what women are like now. But then at the same time, when you consider how chaotic the world's going to be, the women are not that humble, considering they're going to be going on like that. When you actually understand what the kind of way the world's going to be like at that time, they're still not even that humble that they're going to be like that, because they're going to know that they'll be free if they try to be any other way anyway. A lot of them are going to. So it's not that if they was to be like that now, it would be more humble than if they be like it later on. But yet they're still going to do it though, because the world's going to be completely different from what it is like now. You ain't going to be able to plan out your day and plan where you're going to have lunch and plan your next meeting. You ain't going to be able to do all that. You ain't going to want to dress up and try and show no swag. You ain't going to be trying to do all of that. Watch, man. 2 chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand to fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So all that pride that you were shown before, what's that worth now? All that coveting, all that bearing false witness, all that stealing, all that adultery, all that lusting after another man's wife in your heart, all that trying to intimidate people, all that trying to test other people's manhood and all that, all you women trying to be arrogant, right? Trying to say that your man ain't allowed more than one wife, trying to have an arrogance problem with that. But then you're trying to make it be a thing where some of you women out there, you want to have more than one husband though. Some of you women we're talking about, I got a roster, but then you are repulsed at the thought of a man having one. When a man having that is righteous, and you having it is an abomination and a sin and wickedness and worthy of the ultimate judgment, man. But then you really don't mind being a side chick to a famous geezer that's got a bit of money. But then none of these women actually want to be a wife to these guys. You'll notice they don't want to be a wife to these guys. They want to be a side chick because they don't really want to have to do anything righteous for the guy. They just want access to his money. They don't really. You'll notice it. They rarely ever want to be a wife to this guy. They want to be a baby mama. You know, they want to be a side chick. They don't want to be a wife. They want to have had a child by him. So then now they got access to his money through the e-source court system. But they don't really want to be with the guy and they all stick it out together, him and all the other women. Him and all the other wives. They've just assessed the guy's pockets. Okay, so if I get pregnant by him, I've got access, I'm paid for life, or I'm paid for the next 18 years. Okay, I'm going to try and get pregnant by him. That's my goal. I'm going to try and get pregnant by him. Like, it's truly disgusting and sickening. This society, man, it's sickening, bro. It's disgusting. This place has become hell, man. It's become sickening. There's nothing enjoyable about this place, man. The only thing that's enjoyable to some degree is cursing this place out. Cursing this place out's fun. It feels like you're cleansing your soul when you do it, man. But I'm gonna end the video there anyway. I just wanted to. In fact, let me get this verse 21. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. So if you have, and that's going into how World War III is ultimately going to be occurring as a result of what this entire world has did to the children of Israel, man, including the 2/3. But then when it comes to the 2/3, right, and all those other non-believing Israelites that are not necessarily 2/3 because they're not in Babylon the Great, because the 2/3 thing specifically to Babylon the Great, right? But all those other non-believing Jakes, the reason why they're going to be catching the hell that they're catching is because of how they done yet onto the chosen, in terms of being the chosen, in the terms of being the elect. Because the non-elect are technically chosen or beloved for the Father's sake, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So they are still technically chosen, but they're not the chosen within the chosen, though. They're all going to get judged, man. Right? Like, how is not a liar? Has he not made us catch hell down here on this earth? And shown that? So you think he's not going to make us catch hell? I mean, make them Jakes catch hell that he said are going to? Of course he will. Shalom to the elect, man. Shalom.